This is the DJI Phantom 4, and everything you knew about Phantom before is changed. Now using a pair of front-facing cameras found in the landing legs and rear-facing cameras below, the Phantom 4 can detect when there's an obstacle in front of it and avoid that obstacle on its own. And the Phantom 4 introduces Active Track, which works incredibly well and is really fun to use. Just highlight the subject you want to follow, and Active Track will automatically follow the subject with collision avoidance on. I was able to drive my car for a mile, and Active Track stayed on me the entire time. No longer does the subject you want to capture have to carry your remote around. The new Sports mode allows the Phantom 4 to tilt a full 45 degrees and reach speeds up to 45 miles per hour. However, in my flights with the wind behind my back, I could easily surpass 60 miles per hour. And with Tap to Fly, you just tap where you want the Phantom 4 to go, kind of like Google Street View, and it will fly to that point, avoiding obstacles on the way. This is probably not a feature avid pilots are going to use too much, but it's a fun way to introduce basic users to flying. The Phantom 4 is completely redesigned from the ground up. The gimbaled camera is now connected on both sides, the exposed shock absorbers are gone, and camera hardware has been cleanly fitted into the body of the aircraft. The landing legs are slightly shorter and wider. The motors have been raised up to keep out of the camera's field of view, and the landing lights have been moved to the bottom of the motors instead of the arms. And the Phantom 4 incorporates quick-release propellers that were once only found on the Inspire 1. The body is a clean, glossy finish, and it does away with the forward arm stickers. They're still included in the box if that's your thing. The body does get stockier though, and this is mostly due to its massive 5350 mAh battery. Everything looks cleaner, more elegant, and better improved upon from before. In fact, the Phantom 4 even comes with a rigid foam carrying case that fits everything neatly inside with 2 extra battery holders, and that's a really nice touch. Improvements have been made everywhere. When hovering in place, the Phantom 4's vision positioning system can now keep it locked on the ground up to 10 meters high, up from 3.3 meters before, and it can hover in place within a half-meter radius instead of 2.5 meters like before. It now has dual IMUs and dual compasses for fail-safe redundancy. The 4K camera has a redesigned lens, increasing sharpness while reducing the curvature effect you get with wide-angle lenses. The lens also decreases chromatic aberration, which means objects in focus will have sharper edges. The Phantom 4 also now records at 1080p at 120 frames per second, which is great for slow-motion action shots. And the transmit and receive power has been increased on the Lightbridge remote, meaning you can control the Phantom 4 at distances past 3 miles away. In this flight, I traveled 9,600 feet away. That's almost 2 miles, and I have a strong remote connection and video signal the entire time. The only issue I came across was a bird fighting for its turf. The Phantom 4 is incredibly fast and responsive in sports mode. It's almost ludicrous, but you're still in control with GPS. Just note that because it can tilt as much as 45 degrees, you can get blades and even whole arms in your camera's field of view, and collision avoidance is turned off. Testing collision avoidance is kind of hard to do since the worst that happens is you completely crash your brand new drone. In my controlled test though, I found that in every situation I put an obstacle in front of it, the Phantom 4 would indicate the obstacle on the display and refuse to move forward. I feel much more confident flying with collision avoidance, but I wouldn't try crashing it into everything you see just to see if it works. While battery life was advertised to be up to 28 minutes, in my flights I averaged about 20 minutes per flight. This is still more than I got with the Phantom 3 and the Inspire 1, but it would really be incredible if it did last 28 minutes. One thing to note is that the battery is much easier to grip and pull out than with prior versions. And finally, the footage I'm capturing is simply incredible. The entire field of view is sharp, colors are produced accurately, and I'm having just as much fun watching my videos as I am flying the Phantom 4. DJI has made a lot of changes and has introduced a lot of new features. I'm happy to say the Phantom 4 is improved in just about every way.